Okay, we're here in round one. We have the choice. We are definitely playing first. Let's see here. Yeah, it's definitely keepable. Couple whisk aways. Currently, we don't have a play until turn 3, but we have enough 2-drops where I think we could draw one in that time. I'm thinking whether. I think I probably start with the Monastery Siege, but could start with the Right into Being too. I guess I don't know the correct answer to that. I think usually the answer is start with the Siege. Usually. Because this early especially, it really could grant us some good card quality advantage. Opponent mulligan to 6 should be noted. I probably start with the Siege, I think. I think that's going to be correct. We don't get to pressure, but we'll see. It is actually debatable which one you're supposed to start with. Because having no board presence is kind of a bummer, especially when you're trying to be aggressive. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's also nice that Right into Being does a similar thing to Monastery Siege, in that, you play it right away. You get a little bit of card quality advantage right away. I think I'm going to start with the Siege, though. I just feel like getting it down now, especially with the lands we're drawing back-to-back lands, definitely motivates me to want to start with the Siege. So we'll start with Siege. We're going to choose cons, of course, and pass. So we're immediately going to start reaping some benefits of Siege, which is nice. We already have a red source we can easily ditch now that we've got double red already. So it would appear we're up against Sultai. Well, we've got a lot of removal to get rid of. I guess we'll ditch mountains still. It doesn't matter. Play island, play Right into Being. See if we can't manifest a creature here. Well, I guess we'll manifest the Bivouac. I think I'm going to bottom the Will of the Naga, just because I have 3 pieces of removal already, and I'm kind of hunting for some creatures. I do actually like Will of the Naga, but I don't know. We'll see. I may have wanted the Will of the Naga, but Force Away plus double Whisk Away kind of makes it seem unnecessary. So our opponent likely is playing some sort of fatty deck, maybe? I wouldn't mind digging up, well, a couple things. I wouldn't mind digging up a Snowhorn Rider or a, oh, that's awesome. A Despise that misses. That is legitimately awesome. And then he just sees a grip full of removal. So I get a couple turns of tempo with Whisk Away too. As soon as he plays, a creature and attacks or blocks with it, which I imagine he's going to have to do. But yeah, we're currently just hunting for some of our mini fatties that we have. A lot of good creature draws to get here. There's one. And easy land ditch. Swing for 2, play Summit Prowler. I think we are going to play the land. Although I guess I don't have to, really. Where do I top out at? I top out at 5, essentially, so maybe I do want to play the land. There's an argument for it. But I can always play it next turn, too. I guess we'll play the land. I mean, I'm going to need the 5th land eventually, so I don't see a really convincing reason why I'd want to discard it next turn. I mean, there's a pretty good chance I just get another land to discard next turn. And at this point, I can just discard any land I draw, even though any of them make Crater's Claws better. This is weird. He hasn't played, he's just played Ramp, which doesn't even really work that well alongside Despise. I guess if he doesn't have anything early, it makes sense. All right. Easy Bivouac discard. We'll get in. And I think I just chill. I mean, I could play the Surveyor as a 3/3, but I kind of like having tempo plays more. I mean, I guess it does increase my clock, but I kind of don't want to walk into, like, it just is so strange that he's ramping without playing anything that I feel like a board wipe's coming. I think it's compounded by the fact that I've got double Whisk Away, Force Away. So I'm really not scared of, like, anything beefy he plays, unless it has, like, Hexproof or something. All right, so he gets a creature card from the top 8, which I can bounce unless it's Hexproof. Oh, he has a Savage Knuckleblade too. I wouldn't have minded getting that. He is running Villainous Wealth. Now that I have the knowledge of that, I think I will bring in Cancel. He's been pretty slow too, so that would make sense. I think I'm just going to play the Surveyor here instead of Force Away. I mean, Death Frenzy does some more work for him now, but it still does not deal with our Summit Prowler, so. So I guess I wish I'd played Surveyor last turn rather than using it as a tempo. It would be nice to have a 3/3, but it's okay. It's not that bad. I mean, thankfully we still have lethal next turn now, so it panned out okay. He basically has to play Death Frenzy or, at the very least, some removal for our Summit Prowler. I don't know what he's going to do about the Whisks Away and Force Away. But good rares we've seen out of him so far. We haven't even seen a red mana, so I don't even think he has a way to play. He must have red mana in there somewhere. He doesn't even have a means to play. He's got a bunch of ramp, too. Look how many banners he's playing. Double banner plus Map the Waste. So he's just playing fatty. He's just playing a fatty deck. All right. Well, for that reason, I think we're just going to bring in Cancel. And I think we're going to be really well geared against him. So we just force away this guy. We get in for lethal here. I don't even need to use it, no. Okay. So we take game 1. Our opponent's deck is very strange. It's just ramp with Villainous Wealth, card draw, see the Unwritten. So it just really seems like Cancel is just going to be great in this matchup. Anything else? Not really. I mean, we don't have much of a sideboard beyond the cancel, so the question is, what do we want to take out for the cancel? And yeah, that's a good question. I don't want to take any of our early creatures away just because our opponent didn't do anything early, so early creatures are going to be really good against him. Could take out one of my Whiskaways, but I feel like those are great against him too. They really slow down. Like, there's nothing worse when you're a ramp deck than getting your first fatty creature you played put on top of your deck. It's like such a tempo play. Could take out the Cunning Strike just because it's not that it's bad, but considering we just saw fatties out of him, I'm not sure how good it's going to be. Yeah, let's cut the Cunning Strike for the cancel. I think I'm okay with that. Otherwise, it was going to be Will the Naga, but I actually like the idea of, tapping 2 fatties down with Will the Naga, so I'm more okay with that being in the deck. All right, let's bring in the cancel for the Cunning Strike and try this again. One lander seems a bit too sketchy to keep, so I think we're going to mull this. This is great. It's got everything we want. It's got everything we want. We got a 2/3 drop. We have our cancel, although we can't play it yet. But no real sense of urgency in playing that. Despise against this hand is a bit better since he actually has a target this time, but I'm wondering if he would take the Efreet or the Snowhorn Rider. I mean, the Efreet is certainly a worse card, but considering how slow he was, he may want to take it over the Rider, which is a better card. Let's see. Well, our question is going to get answered here. Took the Rider. Okay, very interesting. So maybe he's got removal for the Efreet. Could be. Okay. All right, we go Efreet go. I imagine he plays a ramp spell here since he's playing triple banner Map the Wastes. Brave the Sands. Now, that's a weird one. Got to admit, was not expecting to Brave the Sands. But at the very least, we get to leave up cancel now, so that's good. I mean, since I have the Arrow Storm, I can deal with the Savage Knuckle Blade. Not this turn, so I could easily cancel that, but I can deal with the Keru, whatever his face is, too. Oh, yeah. Seek the Horizon is absolutely resolving. Go ahead. Well, I think I'm not going to leave up cancel this turn, mostly because I can unmorph the Rider next turn. Granted, we do get burned by Death Frenzy, but we didn't see it game 1 or in his graveyard after he casts the whatever the spell is called. And we know that 3 of the 6 cards in his hand currently are lands. And 6, I feel like 6 mana is kind of the magic number with his deck. Since that's where the See the Unwritten and the Keru, whatever is the 4/4. He could play Knuckleblade here, but I actually have the out to that, which is nice. Alright, Ankle Shanker's fine. It's only when it attacks, too, that it gets the first strike and death touch, so it's not even that big of a deal. So next turn, I think we just attack with Efreet and pass. And we're gonna leave up cancel, and we're gonna unmorph at the end of his turn if he doesn't do anything. So yeah, Ankle Shanker is certainly not that crazy alongside Brave the Sands, I don't think. Summit Prowler's a good card, but I'm not going to play it. I'd rather leave up cancel. I feel like he's going to be at 6 lands, so that's sort of the magic number. And there's really no reason to attack with both. We're just going to either cancel or unmorph. If this is unmorphed, I feel a lot more comfortable attacking with both next turn, because if he blocks both, this still tramples over. Banner surely resolves. Yes, banners for days, you got it. So he's got a grip full of a couple lands, or at least one land, I think. All right, so now we get to play Summit Prowler and leave up cancel? No, we're still land short of that, which is okay. So we'll attack with both. He can block them both. This doesn't have first strike and death touch, though, so no real concerns there. And yeah, if he double blocks him, he gets to trade with an Efreet, which is fine. He can take the 5. I'll trade that. He can double block. We're still going to trample over, like I said. No blocks. That's interesting. All right. Well, we're just going to pass. At this point, we're ahead on the board, and we have the cancel for anything major that our opponent plays. And next turn, I mean, we've straight up got lethal with Aerostorm if he can't do something pretty crazy here. Oh yeah, he's cracking banners. That's never a good sign. If you're the one cracking banners, it's never a good sign, I should say. For me, it's a great sign. It means my opponent doesn't have anything of substance. Yeah, I still think we end up dealing 5 damage to our opponent. Pretty sure. I guess waiting for blocked creatures to be ordered, so isn't it going to ask me? Well, this is just interesting in general. I don't know if I've actually encountered trample with Brave Descents before, so we'll see. But the way I would think it would work is I get to deal my 2 damage to this, and then Snowhorn Rider gets to deal the 5 damage to my opponent. What do we got? Become Immense. Yeah. Well, I can't really allow that, so let's cancel that. Oh yeah, it did. It did what I thought it would do. So Smoldering Efreet's gonna kill it. All the remaining damage gets to trample over to Snowhorn Rider, or to my opponent. And then I'll follow up with a Summit Prowler. So no counter spells left, but it did its job, and got a pretty commanding board presence here. So he's gonna have to wipe the board, and even if he does, we've got Aerostorm, which just needs to be turned on. So even if he has a board wipe here, we just need to find a creature that I can eventually attack with an Aerostorm. Okay, Villainous Wealth for 6. I can't imagine him beating us with this. Yeah, he can't play the Whiskaways. He can play the Savage Knuckleblade and a Warname Aspirant. We definitely are going to win. Even Will of the Naga doesn't matter because I still have a creature I can attack with. All right, so we swing Efreet and Aerostorm for victory. It's weird that he's got a Savage Knuckleblade too. I certainly wouldn't have minded getting a couple of them. No blocks. No blocks. Doesn't even make sense. You have double. Why do you have Brave the Sands if you're not going to block? All right. So we get round 1. Beat the Villainous Wealth for 6, which is actually a really nice Villainous Wealth number. And Counterspell for the Become Immense was quite nice. So, all right, deck played very well for us. I'm very satisfied with how it played. But we'll have to see how we do against a deck that doesn't run quite as much ramp as this fellow did. Okay, see you round 2.